What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to take a look at what seems to be very, very good news in the One Piece TCG, but should be taken with a little bit of a pinch of salt. You see, I've seen this shared by a couple of people, I've seen it floating around, but it was specifically sent to me by the lovely Sidewinder Media over on Twitter, and the news seems to be that Pillars of Strength is getting a reprint. OPO3 is coming back. Hot Topic are showing it as shipping in May. Now, we need to do the whole caveat thing before we get going here, alright? This seems to be legit, and this seems to be true. It absolutely does appear that the One Piece TCG OPO3 is getting a reprint, restock, or something of that description in Hot Topic that is going to start shipping in May. Awesome. Now, one thing we also need to bear in mind here is we don't actually know the limits of this. We don't know how big it is. We don't know if it's just Hot Topic. We don't know an awful lot of stuff. When a shop like Hot Topic is listing it, that's basically them listing it as, we know this is coming, we've got this information, we good. We don't get the extra context. Yes, there is an absolute chance this isn't a reprint. There is a chance that Hot Topic just found a couple of cases lying around in a warehouse somewhere that somebody had lost, and they're now listing that. They're just chucking it up. That is absolutely possible. It could be that there is a reprint, but it's fairly small and it's only going to certain places. That is absolutely possible. Or it could be a number of other things. So look, yes, it's coming back into Hot Topic. Hot Topic are a big shop, right? They don't list stuff like this unless it's actually coming. They're also unlikely to be experts on the One Piece TCG. And yes, I suppose this could be a mistake, but that's very unlikely. What is far more likely is they've gone, oh, we got OPO3 coming. Bandai have said we've got this coming and we can start shipping it out in May. Okay, cool. And then they went ahead and listed it. That is generally, for the larger stores, that is usually what happens. It's not some big dramatic thing. It's a case of Bandai go, oh yeah, no, we've got this for you. It's coming in here. And then someone at Hot Topic goes, oh cool, I'll list it on the website. That's it. That is generally what happens here. And it's nothing more dramatic than that. Now, of course, we do know at the One Piece finals over in North America, it was announced that there would be reprints of older sets. But we still don't have the context for this either. We know that there are reprints coming, we've been told that. That is all we've been told. We've not been told what, we've not been told when, we've not been told the scope of it. I'm seeing more and more people spreading around online with absolutely no knowledge whatsoever. It's probably a really small reprint that they just said to stop people complaining. I've seen that literally dozens of times of people over the past month, and I have no idea where it's coming from. That is, as far as I can see, literally just made up. And like, yeah, they might be right. Bad predictions can be right, good predictions can be wrong. It might be a very small reprint that they're just saying to shut us up. But we've not been given any reason whatsoever to suggest that that's actually true. So don't be listening to stuff like that that's just thrown out with no proof whatsoever. What we have here is confirmation that at least one chain of stores, and it is a chain of stores. We're not talking about some, one random local game store here. This is a chain of stores, are going to be getting more stock of OPO3. That's what we know. We don't know the scope of it. We know it's shipping in May. It could be a big reprint. It could end up being other stores as well. It could be a very small reprint. It could just be Hot Topic. We don't know. But it is a very, very, very good sign. And this is wonderful. It does raise the question of, okay, how much do we care about OPO3? And I am going to answer that question in a moment. But first, I was having a little look around the Hot Topic website. They've actually got a similar thing listed for Starter Deck 11. Again, shipping in May. which is rather lovely. Starter Deck 11 does seem to be sold out basically everywhere in the US, at least. I went and bought a copy at my local game store at the weekend for retail, but I know a lot of people are not being able to find it very easily, so confirmation here that that is at least coming back a little bit as well. Really, this video is digging into the OPO3 reprint, the potential of that, why we care about it, etc. But just as a side note, it does seem like Starter Deck 11 is coming back as well, and this one is actually far more predictable, far more understandable. It's a new starter deck. They sent a bunch out, but it's still a new starter deck, so they kept printing it, and they sent out what they had for release, but they kept printing it, and this is the second wave. We see this with new products all the time. Essentially, the waves start coming pretty quickly, and the reason for this is very simple. There is a date where they have to actually start shipping these products out. So they print as many as they can to ship out on the date, and then they keep printing, and then, you know, a month later, 2 months later, whatever, they ship out the next batch that they've been printing since they shipped the first batch. Simple as that. This is predictable and understandable. Remember, you've only got the Leader Uta, the Super Rare Uta, and the free event cards. But remember that, you know, those 5 cards were all in the winning deck at Japan Nationals or Japan Finals, so, you know, that's pretty relevant. So back to OPO3 then, what do we actually see? Well, it's a very, very good set, but it's not the best set. Certainly in terms of manga rares, we've got Sogeking, who is the worst among them, but there are some very good cards in the set. We've got alternate art leaders of Charlotte Katakuri and Nami, both of which are comfortably over $200. The Katakuri is super playable, the Nami is... I mean, look, it made top 8 at European finals. It's clearly viable. It's not one of the big decks, but it's still clearly viable. And so they're both very good. They're both very cool. They're both commanding a bunch of money. We got the wanted poster Luffy, which is about a $150 card, which is a very big deal because people like Luffy. That's a card which is definitely going to go up in the future. We've got the secret rare Charlotte Katakuri, the alternate art of which is like a $100 card right now. And even the regular art is over $60. And the reason for this is super simple. Hyper playable card. Sees a ridiculous amount of play in yellow decks. And yellow decks are very, very big right now. And for that reason, it's going to be an expensive card, like all the way around. But even the regular version being $60, like bearing in mind, booster boxes are retailing, and I know it's hard to pick them up, but they're retailing for not much over $100. That's, $60 is quite a lot. But then again, when you play it, you add a character of a cost of 8 or less to the top or bottom of the owner's life face up. It's an 8k that gives you an extra life. I mean, come on. That's pretty gosh darn good. And seriously, a regular secret rare for $60 is, quite expensive. And we do see a bit of a drop-off after all of those big cards, but then we've still got a bunch of really playable cards. You know, Charlotte Cracker, Charlotte Puddin, Charlotte Perospero. A lot of the yellow staples come out of OPO3. This was the set that really brought in Big Mum Pirates, so that's kind of nice. In terms of other leaders, we've got Ace and Rob Lucci and Arlong, which admittedly none of them have actually proven to be particularly good, but that doesn't really matter, yeah? They're still cool, and there's still potential there, and you never know, maybe one day. And yes, I know they've all topped tournaments here and there. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm saying that, you know, when we get to the finals and we look at the metagame for the finals that we've just had, these were not decks anyone was expecting to win the finals, and they are not decks that got particularly close to winning the finals. We all know what the best decks around are right now, and it's not these. Although I wouldn't be upset if Rob Lucci and Arlong ended up being really good, frankly. That would be awesome. And then, of course, you got the other wanted posters. It was the first set that had the special rares, and those wanted posters are extremely cool. I would love to get the Kaido one. Will I ever get the Kaido one? I don't know. Probably not. Never mind. Doesn't mean it's not cool, does it? Yeah. So this is clearly a set we would like back. Is it the set we would like back the most? No. Obviously not. OPO5 and Romance Dawn. Like, it's really not a huge amount of competition. There are 2 sets that we really want above all others at the moment. It's those 2. Those are the 2 sets people want. Romance Dawn is the first set and the hardest one to get hold of. And OP05 is like clearly, blatantly the best set. Yeah, blatantly the best set. So look, it's a cool set. It's one that people would love back. And if it does end up coming back, this is one that I would highly recommend trying to pick some up before it might be too late. Like I've said, what we got at the moment is a listing on Hot Topic, which absolutely seems legit, and another one for Starter Deck 11 as well. But as it stands at the moment, this is a wait-and-see scenario. Maybe it's going to be a big reprint of everything. Yay! Maybe it's not. We'll have to wait and see. But for now, I want to hear from you guys, and I want to know how excited you are. If there is a reprint coming of this, how excited are you? And how much are you going to be picking up? Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, and all kinds of fun things. But by far, the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.